What's up? Welcome to the Pretty Decent Podcast, the podcast that barely meets expectations. My name is Javier, and I'll be your host. So relax, grab some snacks, and enjoy. All right, now let's get to the episode. What's up, my pretty people? Welcome back. We are recording once again, but this time it's almost midnight. It's 11:13 p.m. on April 15 because your boy forgot to do video for the episode that I wanted to release last week, but I forgot to press the record button. So here we are once again. Welcome back. Now I can see the red blinking light. But yeah, before I start, shout out to my mom on her birthday because today is her birthday. She's a legend because she gave birth to a legend, me, obviously. Not my sister, me. But yeah, somehow I have energy at 11 p.m. Today was a great day. I did a 15K. I watched the Knicks win. Yeah, Knicks baby, it's playoff time. Let's go. The Kings beat the Warriors. Love to see that as well. And overall, the energy lately has been out of this world. But before I start with the episode, I just want to do some house cleaning and thank you guys for, all the support. 58 episodes in, that's still crazy. I always say that I never thought I'd get past the first one, but here I am. And thank you if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, if you follow the Spotify, uh, the the podcast Spotify page, because it means a lot. And if you listen and tune in bi-weekly, thank you for that. And yeah, I don't know. Lately, this past, well, now it's 3 weeks since like the last episode. I've been feeling like I'm back to where I was before all of the bad things happened. And it's nice, It's the weather is starting to get a lot better. It's a lot warmer now. It's like the first time in like 4 months that I had to use the AC in my house because like it's actually hot. But to no one's surprise, in the Midwest, we're having a storm tomorrow, which like killer. Well, hopefully no one dies in the storm, but we love to see that bipolar weather. And yeah, I don't know. I've I've been consuming a lot of. Sorry if you can see my glowing forehead. But I've been consuming a lot of Tyler the Creator lately, and I don't know. It's just like he has this like aura of like just being yourself and doing the stuff that you like to do and all that stuff, which is something like it's one of the main reasons why I am a fan of Harry Styles. And I don't think I've ever mentioned that I'm a fan of Tyler in the podcast, but yeah, like I've been listening to Tyler ever since Igor released, and then I went back and like listened to everything he had released before. And yeah, like everything about him I really like. So he recently released The Estate Sale, which is like the deluxe version of Call Me If You Get Lost, which already that album was beautiful. But with The Estate Sale, it just, I don't know, he kicked it up a notch. Sorry, I can see in my reflection that my hair is, he kicked it up a notch, and like all of the songs in the deluxe are insane, like everything. And like that feeling when you're listening to a song and it's just like kind of like reinforces one of the main thoughts that, or like main ideas that you've been enforcing on your life. Yeah, that's what the Estate Tale pretty much did for me. There's one song, Sorry Not Sorry, which out of the gate, just like with the name, I could tell like, oh yeah, this is gonna be like a different type of song. And just everything that he says in the song, like pretty much like, I'll give you a recap. Pretty much the whole song is like about, not like you shouldn't apologize for shit, like growing into a better version of yourself and, being yourself. But at the same time, like you are also acknowledging that with that growth comes like this like distancing from people that you didn't really want to distance from. And like that's something that I've experienced in my life, especially in like the past like 8 months since like, I graduated college and everything. And yeah, and then like, he always talks about love and relationships and stuff like that. And with like the release of the Estate Tale, I went back and listened to Igor, and which, if you don't know what Igor is about, is pretty much, by the way, Igor is another masterpiece, because this is just like me geeking out about like the actual music, not like the lyrics, but the music itself. So the album starts with like, I believe it's an E flat, and then like the song kicks in, and then the album ends with a B flat. I think that's how it is. And then it's pretty much so it makes the album a loop within itself, like it never ends. And there's symbolism behind it, which is the cycle of being in a love triangle with someone. And when I found that out, when Igor released that, this is how it was. This is a ring. This is my finger. Perfect fit. Because throughout my 4 years of college, I was always in a love triangle, and those are messy, and it's always very, very complicated. And like knowing that even celebrities have gone through something like that kind of like makes you feel more comfortable with the stuff that you go as a regular person, right? And like the whole album pretty much starts with, it's Tyler, and he fell in love with a guy that is in a relationship with a girl. So it's pretty much like, he starts realizing like, oh, I really like this guy. But then like, he finds out that he is in a relationship with this girl. So he's like, oh, I hope she treats you right, and like she shows you all of this and that. And then at one point he reaches this point of, I don't need him. I don't want him anymore, because he's like controlling me pretty much, like hence the title of the song, Puppet. And then at one point, like towards the end of the album, Tyler reaches this thinking of like, I don't need him anymore, but thank you for everything that you showed me, but I can't fall in love again after everything that has happened. And then at the end, like the very last song is called Are We Still Friends? And I feel like, me being in a lot of love triangles before, 3 to be accurate, that question of like, are we still friends after everything, is pretty much, I want to say, one of the most dangerous questions you can ask, because deep down that if that person still sticks around in your life, feelings are going to come back. So hence, hence him, obviously Tyler, ending the album with the B flat, and then the album starts with an E flat. So, when you think about it that way, like, you're like, oh my God, this guy's a genius. Because, he really is. Like, knowing that he produces everything and he writes everything, like, it's insane. But yeah, like, for some reason, that whole thing of like the question, are we still friends? And that's one of my favorite songs from him, not only because of the lyrics itself, but like just the way that it sounds and like where it fits in the album. Because like my best friend taught me that the artist puts the songs in the record in a specific order because they're telling a story. I think he showed me the first time with Man on the Moon 1, and after that, like whenever I want to listen to a specific album, I always listen to it in order, because that's how it's meant to be listened to. And Igor and Call Me If You Get Lost they're both albums that I listened like that, and also Flower Boy, but also like previous Tyler projects, also tell a story throughout the entire record. But there's just something about Igor, and like I don't know if was his intention with like naming it Igor, but Igor is Frankenstein's Dr. Frankenstein's like helper. So like even then, like you can say like, oh, like Frankenstein is in love, quote unquote, in love with his creation, Frankenstein's monster. So he's not really paying attention to Igor, which like poof, like mind blown, right? Like it's just, and the artistic side of me like geeks about this type of stuff. Whenever like artists put stuff like that in like their music or like paintings or whatever, like videos or anything or something like that, like I always geek out about that stuff. Like the music video for Sorry Not Sorry it starts with people walking into a venue, and then like the curtain opens and it's every iteration of Tyler just standing in front of the audience, and then like the song starts playing, and like it's him apologizing to guys that he had to hide, girls that he had to lie to, like his mom, his sister, the media. Well, he's not apologizing to the media, but like pretty much everyone that he's come across in life. And slowly you can see that the other versions of Tyler are disappearing from the frame, and then you learn that the one version of him that is like I guess like his true self is killing the other versions from like the other albums. Like you see like on the back of the video is like Igor, and then there's Flower Boy, there's Goblin, there's Wolf, there's Call Me If You Get Lost, like it's the one in the front of the frame, and yeah, like you have all of them, right? And then like the video ends with the real Tyler killing Tyler Baudelaire, which is like the name that he gave to the persona for Call Me If You Get Lost. And that type of stuff, like it makes me excited to see what he's gonna do further down the road, because the song ends with I think it's DJ Drama saying a new era is upon us, we gone, and then like poof, like the song ends, and then you're just like, oh my god, like listening to it the first time, like because I listened to like the entire album from start to end, like the deluxe version of it, I was just like chills the entire time. And like deep down, I'm a big fan of like Easter eggs, like even movies, everything, like not Easter itself, but like little things that people that like Marvel movies, right? They always reference comics, right? Or for example, the Mario movie, which I'll get to it in a bit, but that movie is filled with Easter eggs, because the way that I see it is it's a way of like the creative showing how much he cares about the project that they're working on, like even me kind of like putting this the way that it is set is kind of like Easter eggs. And like my idea for like the way that I want to decorate the studio once I have time, is like put up stuff from referencing old episodes and stuff like that. And Jesus, wait. LaCroix, not sponsored in any way, shape, or form, but cheers. But anyway, just Easter eggs and stuff like that. Like, cause I feel like as I've started to get more into wanting to, make something out of the podcast and wanting to be more creative, I've learned that putting the effort and like the care into whatever you're doing, just that already makes it successful. Like, you don't need anyone else's approval for it to be successful. If you know like what you're doing, you're enjoying it and you're having fun and you're doing it for yourself, you already made it. Like, I think it was Harry Styles that said that, like, something along the lines of like, if what you're doing makes you happy, you're already successful. So that's something, like, even like just going about my day, right? I know, like, obviously there's stuff that you have to do no matter what, like taxes. But I always try to do something that makes me happy. And because like, if I know that I'm doing something that makes me happy, I know that I had a successful day. Like today I did a 15K. It was hard, very hard. I thought I was going to faint, but in the end, I knew it was successful because it made me happy. And, like, it shows me that day to day I've been improving with my running and everything. And even like my ability to make content with running and everything, and trying to grow as I go with like that journey on its own. So like stuff like that, knowing that there's also other people doing the same with what they're doing makes me want to be more creative. And I've been diving into like interviews with Tyler, and when he was promoting like the different albums, when he was promoting Igor, when he was promoting Call Me If You Get Lost, when he's in interviews with Converse and all that stuff, and just seeing how he's very much about like enjoying what he's doing is like kind of like reminds me like, hey, that's what you were trying to do when you first moved into like, where I am right now. So like, don't forget about that aspect of your life. And yeah, because I feel like at one point, like I lost myself in the like just like the cycle of living and like, going to work and everything, that I feel like especially when I was injured and I couldn't run, I felt like I'm missing something, but I couldn't get back into like being the real me and enjoying what I'm doing. And yeah, like also just, I think he was saying, like he doesn't understand why people like, they make music or make something and they don't promote it. They only promote it once and then that's it. Like, if you're proud of what you did, post it everywhere. Post it on you should be proud. Like, who cares what other people think? Just like post it whenever you want to. Like, hey, I made this. Look at this. Look at this. Like every day, everything, whatever. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm proud of the episodes I make. They might not be like the Joe Rogan experience quality, but hey, like it's something that I made with my own hands. Well, figuratively, but like I'm proud of it. Like I'm proud of, it's not easy to sit in front of a camera and behind a microphone and just like talk for however long I decide to talk in an episode, and coming up with ideas and like how to keep trying to keep the audience engaged and everything. And yeah, like, yeah, like if you make something, I'm always trying to support people around me, even if I don't talk to them on a daily basis. Like if I see someone and like they post a video or something, I always like it because I'm like, I like to support creators and people that, do whatever they enjoy doing. And it sucks because the current dating scene, liking stories is a way to flirt. And I'm like, bro, like, I'm not trying to flirt. I'm just, if I see that you're enjoying yourself, I'm gonna like it, because like that's literally how I live my life. Like I feel like maybe this is not the case, or maybe it is, but I feel like me putting my stuff out there, and like, my, like, kind of like my vlogs and stuff of like me going about my day and like just like sharing and everything, encourages people to do the same. And like, if you like something, post it. Like, who cares what other people think? But yeah, like, also seeing like people interacting with the stories and like the videos and everything, I like that, because Jesus, that LaCroix made me very gassy. But I like it not in the sense of like, oh yeah, give me the attention, yeah. No, it's more in the sense of like, oh, like I'm having an impact in this person's life, so who knows what's gonna happen in the future. Because I feel like that's important to acknowledge. Like, everything is on a point of reference, so the way that we interact with things depends on what we are surrounded by. Like the stuff that we like, or the things that we focus on, depends a lot on like the stuff that we are surrounded by. Yeah, I don't know. This got very, very deep. But anyway, let's talk about the Mario movie, right? Out of the gate, I'm just gonna say the movie itself is very short. I really liked it. I'm a huge Nintendo fan, so for me, I was having a blast. But I was aware of like what the critics were saying, like, oh, the movie is like, the story is not woo or anything like that, and like the critics were being very harsh. So whenever like I look at reviews, I look at the audience, not really like the critics, because critics are dumb. And the audience was loving it, so I'm like, okay, this is probably really good. And from the get-go, like, it's just Easter eggs after Easter eggs. So for me, that's heaven, that's paradise, because like seeing the references to like old Nintendo games and like other Mario properties and everything was just like heaven on earth. And and the only issue that I did have was with the pacing, because that movie is like I'm trying to come up with something. Like, okay, for example, it's like college Javi telling the girl that he likes that he loves them, although like they've only been talking for 2 weeks. It's faster than that. And just picture that. I used to be very stupid back in college, so I'm no longer like that. So we're good. We're chilling. But anyway, that's, considering like the love triangle stuff and everything. Yeah, I wasn't the brightest person out there. But what can I say? I'm just a lover. What, right? Anyway, yeah, that movie's pacing is like insanely fast. But at the same time, I kind of understood why the pacing was so fast, because at least in my head, like the little business knowledge that I have, the way that I saw it was, hey, probably like the director, the producers or whatever were like, all right, if this sucks financially, at least we put all of this out, and then like, we can say like, all right, we did all the references and everything, here they are, boom. But if it's successful, then we can build upon everything that we introduced already in the first movie, and then like, pick what we want to keep moving on with, like what stories to follow and all that stuff. So in either way, I feel like it was a win-win for them. But I will say, like, the way that they introduced like the power-ups and even like the carts and all that, I feel like it was very creative, because obviously, if you play the video games, like the mushrooms and like, not those mushrooms, the mushrooms and like, the flowers and like Tanuki and like all the power-ups that Mario that you use when you're playing as Mario in the games play a big role in the games. And I was curious as to like how they're going to implement that into the movie, and like the way they did it was pretty cool. This is not a spoiler for the whole story, but like just like in the games, if you get hit, you lose the power up. Same thing with them in the movie. And even like the mushroom, like when Mario eats the mushroom, it makes him taller and bigger, just like in the games, which I thought that was pretty cool. And like all the references to like all the games that they made was insane, and it has me very excited about the future for what they're gonna do with like all of this, because financially, as of today, I think it's the highest grossing, is it grossing, however you say it, grossing video game movie ever, which is insane, because Sonic the Hedgehog was really good and Detective Pikachu was also both of them did very good in the box office. But I kind of knew like it was gonna be insanely good. And I think like the YouTube videos that I've been watching about the Easter eggs, I think the highest one was like around 50 something, which is insane. But yeah, like there's so many references to like other Mario properties, like even like and this is, spoiler free, so don't worry. I'm not ruining anything about the main plot. I'll do that later. But like Luigi's phone, the ringtone is the GameCube startup song, which is like very creative as to how they added that. And yeah, like I feel like it wasn't like too on the nose, or like they weren't trying to like, it wasn't like Nintendo came and did like, like they stood up, opened your mouth and were like, here are all these Easter eggs, like, like they didn't do that. It was like a subtle like, here, enjoy this Easter egg. But yeah, I also Bowser was Jack Black killed that role. The song Peaches, oh my god, the fact that it can be nominated to an Oscar just makes me happy, because it's just like, hopefully I don't get copy strike, but like peaches, 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 I love you. And it's just, it's a ballad, and like now we're going into the spoilers. But it's a Mario movie. Like it's literally the premise of every Mario game, and it's Bowser wants to get married to Peach, and the fact that he's doing all of this just to marry Peach is hilarious, because he's a simp. He doesn't even know if she likes him back, and he's still doing all of this. And to me, I'm like, can't relate. Totally 100% relatable, because that's how I used to be. Just like trying to do all of this thing for someone that clearly doesn't care about you. And but hey, that's my life. But hey, it's no longer like that. We know our worth. We know our self-worth. And when I talk about we, I also mean you. We know our self-worth, and we know we deserve better. We're not going to settle for less, because we are great people. And you're my favorite, and I love you. Maybe no one tells you that, they love you. Certainly for me, no one tells me they love me. So, hey, I love you, and I love myself. That's all that matters. Just realized how sad that sounds. No one tells me they love me. But hey, that's true. So, sad boys. But yeah. Also, I think I might go on a trip just because. Because also like Call Me If You Get Lost makes references to trips, and I feel like it's time for an adventure, a solo adventure. And no, not like a side quest, but like it's part of the main quest. Like on Thursday, I was looking up tickets to go watch the Knicks against the Cavs in Cleveland, because I'm like 6 hours away from Cleveland. So I'm like, you know what? Why don't I just like, the tickets were very cheap. They were like $60 for a playoff game. I'm like, I kind of should, but I obviously didn't end up going, because I had to get my car fixed. But now I have AC, so that's good. But yeah, like I don't know, like I feel like my story arc requires a trip in the coming days, or just like a getaway. Maybe I'll do it like Mario Sunshine. I go to like a remote island, and then there's like this monster just like destroying the entire island, and then like here's me, because I am him. Oh my god, yeah, the energy is starting to wear off. And yeah, I just like go in and like save the island, but I don't know where I'm going with this. But yeah, I kind of can see the numbers in the camera, and we're gonna run out of time. So before I wrap up this beautiful episode of this pretty episode of the Pretty Decent Podcast, I just want to say one big thank you to you. You're taking time out of your day to listen to me and watch me just be a dumbass. So thank you, because I appreciate it. I know it's not much, but it's honest work. And yeah, subscribe to the show. Subscribe to the podcast on YouTube. Follow it on Spotify. Follow me on Instagram. And yeah, check out my running videos. They're pretty cool. I think I'm gonna start doing long format and put it on YouTube as well. But yeah, that's further down the road. But yeah, thank you so much. I hope you're having a great week, because this is probably gonna be out on Monday. So I hope you have a great week. You can always reach out to me if you have any inquiries, questions, or you just want to talk. Because, like I said, no one talks to me, which is pretty sad, because I have unlimited data for no reason. So, yeah. Thank you for watching, subscribing, liking, following. And I'll see you guys real soon, because bonus episode, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, I'll see you guys real soon. Take care, and I love you. Mwah. Peace.